Okay, we're going to talk about your pelvic floor and what a proper pelvic floor contraction or Kegel is supposed to look like. So your pelvic floor muscles sit at the base of your pelvis. So imagine them forming like a hammock or a sling at the bottom of the pelvis. They are surrounding all of your openings, so your urethra, your vaginal opening, and your rectal area. So those muscles surround all those openings. They are what help keep the pelvic organs where they're supposed to be. They support all of the organs. They play a role in breathing, posture, stability of the pelvis and spine, and continence. So if you're leaking urine or even having fecal incontinence, those muscles are what support that and help to keep that in. And then they also need to relax when we want them to. So when you're trying to have a bowel movement, when you're delivering a baby, or when you're urinating, those muscles have to relax. So there's 3 parts to a proper pelvic floor contraction. Those muscles should gently squeeze, then they should lift up a little bit, and then they should relax, and they should come back down to their baseline. So if you're someone that carries tension in the pelvic floor, you may not feel those muscles relax very easily, but it's crucial that we get all 3 parts to a pelvic floor contraction. So you should also be able to do that without your butt kicking in and without you kind of clenching your abs either. So really it should just be those pelvic floor muscles that you're feeling. Sometimes after having a baby, it's hard to feel those muscles. So that's what we're going to work on today. So I'm going to show you a couple different positions where you are going to focus on contracting those muscles. And visualization is key with the pelvic floor muscles. So there's a couple different kind of things you can imagine. So one way is to imagine that you're stopping the flow of urine and holding in gas at the same time. So that's going to get those muscles from front to back to squeeze and lift. So that's the first cue you can try. Another thing is that you can visualize that you have a blueberry down in your openings, your vaginal or urethra area, and you are trying to squeeze and gently lift that blueberry up. Imagine it kind of going up an elevator. So gently lifting it up and in. And then you're releasing it and you're letting it go all the way back down and out. So that is that full pelvic floor contraction, squeeze and lift, and then relax. So the pelvic floor muscles are very much mental, and so we need those visualizations to help make sure that we are doing them properly. So remember, squeeze, lift, and then relax. No butt, no ab clenching. Your lower abs might kick in a little bit because the pelvic floor muscles are connected to those deep abdominals. So if you're doing a full pelvic floor contraction, you might feel those lower abs, and that is fine. But we just don't want you doing all the work with your abs and your butt. Okay, so now I'm going to show you those positions. So the first position we're going to start in is just on your back, just lying supine here with your knees bent. And what I want you to focus on is taking a deep inhale, kind of expanding through your rib cage, so deep diaphragmatic breath. Feel the pelvic floor relax and lengthen on your inhale. On your exhale is when you want to do the contracting. So on your exhale, squeeze and lift the pelvic floor. All you're focusing on here is that the pelvic floor muscles, okay? So those muscles are going to kind of squeeze and lift up. So you'll do a few here. And you can work on holding. Hold 3 seconds, 5 seconds, all the way up to 10 seconds. You should be able to hold that pelvic floor contraction for 10 seconds. So I also want you to work on what we call quick flicks. So where you are quickly contracting and releasing the pelvic floor. So quick squeeze and lift, relax, quick squeeze and lift, relax. So in this position too, then I want you to work on quick flicks. So you'll do about 10 at a time. And if you haven't been doing that, you might feel like those muscles are getting fatigued quickly. You might feel like they're not working as well the more you do, and that just means we need to practice on reconnecting to this area. So this is a good place to start here on your back.